and our voice can crack, and we know that we just singing to God, and that's okay. But see, we get to a point to where we can get so stale to where we won't even sing by ourselves. And you know, when fear will set in, and fear silences our praise. And see, when fear sets in, something else has to be removed. When our praise is silent, we no longer have praise. What we get full of is lack. Now lack creeps in, and we have a lack of prayer. Because when we're afraid, we won't pray. Because we think that we can look to outside sources to get done what God can only do. We have a lack of trust in God. Because again, we're thinking about what can I do to help this situation, when it really ain't nothing that we can do but trust God. That's when we turn away from Him and we start thinking about everybody else who can help us. We have a lack of commitment to God because we stop doing the things that God has called us to do in the first place. We don't want to come to practice and sing on the praise and worship team anymore. We don't want to come to church on Sunday morning. We don't want to speak to the people on our job because the things in our life are tearing us down or holding us down. We lose the prayer of Father, take me through this thing. And we get the prayer of God, take me out of this thing. And that's all we want to do. We always want to be taken out of everything. But it's a reason why we keep finding ourselves in certain situations. Because you need to learn something in that situation. It ain't about always just getting taken out of a thing. Sometimes you got to make your way through a thing so that you can learn that thing. Sometimes you need to learn the pain. You need to learn, okay, every time I'm in this situation, who is around me? Every time Sister So-and-so shows up, she brings this same old spirit with her. And then we end up doing this wrong thing. Every time I get around my brother, we go to this same old place. And this same old wrong thing happens. And every time I get into this situation of this wrong thing, I say, take me out. But God is saying, I'm not finna take you out every time. It's a reason why I'm letting you continue to fall in that hole. Because I want you to get acquainted with that hole. So you won't have to fall in that hole. So you can see exactly what's coming. And when you see that hole, you can step to the side and go around that hole. You don't have to be falling in that hole every time. And so we have this problem to where we want to be smarter than God. I know better about me than God knows about me, so I have a tug of war with God. And I'm telling God, it's like I know my weakness. You know, a man has to know his limitations. But God is saying, I know my strengths. And I know that my word shall not return void. If I put you in a situation, if I gave you a temptation, I promise you, if I allow the temptation to come on you, because God tempts no man, but if I allow that temptation to happen, I promise you I'll carry you through it. All you got to do is relax. Look, you in the palm of my hand. Either you are or you aren't. Either I'm God or I'm not. And so we say, we tell God, you start to think of all of your deficiencies. You start to explain it to God how you are well acquainted with lack. I'm used to not having. I ain't never had nothing. We use them big words like never, and I'm always in this situation. And don't nobody want to help me. But again, God is saying, my grace is sufficient. I have surplus. You understand? I have an abundance. Right now, see, some of the times the problem ain't that you don't have overflow, because you have overflow and people see your overflow. But you're full of so much junk. If you take a cup, watch this, you take a cup full of dirty water, you pour clean water on the top, the clean water is what's going to run out. You got to get that junk up out of you first, so that God can fill you. As a matter of fact, He's going to give you a whole new cup, so you ain't got nothing in it. Then He's going to fill it with good stuff. What you can't do is put dirt on top of the clean, because guess what? When you put dirt in the clean, it's going to be dirty again. So He's saying, you know what? It ain't about you not having. It's about you trusting me in what I have. And you telling Him, I'm unable. But He's telling you, I am the enabler. I can enable you to do all things. And when you say, you are unable, you are right. But I tell you what, he said that you can do nothing, but all things are possible through me. So will you trust? Will you trust? Will you trust? And then, you know, just like with Job, he'll let you talk for so long, and then he'll get to a point to where he won't even want you to talk no more. He'll tell you where you can't, I can. All you have to do is just continue to walk. And when you get to that point to where you feel like you can't go no farther, trust me to carry you through. Where you can't, I can. He says, I empower the weak. So it don't matter about all of your weaknesses, all of your deficiencies, all of the times that you done fell down. Guess what? You landed in the palm of my hand and I was able to pick you back up. It's okay if you fall, if you're walking to me, because you're falling in the right direction. So it's still okay. I got your back. He said that I qualify the unfit. You are unfit for the thing, but I make you fit for that thing because of who I am and who I am on the inside of you. All right. He said that I'm making you to be tempered still. Now still, when he first found us, we was more like medicated cotton. You know, medicated cotton is cotton, but it got like maybe lotion or something in it, so it's way more fragile than even regular cotton. So we was just like flimsy, blowing in the wind. And he made us to be iron. Now we know that iron has strength, and we know that iron sharpens iron, but now God is taking us to a new level. He said, I'm making you tempered steel. Now tempered is when they take the iron and they put heat on it. So what he does is he takes us and he puts us in the fire so that we can grow more and more strength. And we fighting and kicking and screaming while we're in the fire, but we don't know that the fire is what's making us stronger. The fire is what's making us able to get through. So the next time we come to the problem, it's like I've already seen this. Satan, get behind me. And we can continue to walk with God. And so we got this long list of issues. Because, you know, every time you feel like you're getting ahead, the enemy comes to try to snatch away anything that you have. And so we tell God, we got all these excuses. Put the first one up. The first one is, but we have enemies. But God says, be strong and of good courage. Do not fear nor be afraid of them. For the Lord your God, he is the one who goes with you. He will not leave you nor forsake you. Now that's all right. If you got God on your side, it don't matter who your enemies might be. And so you tell God, I got weakness. Go to the next one. You say, I got weakness, and this is Isaiah 41:10. He says, fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. Yes, I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. And so we tell God things like, well, I live in a bad neighborhood, you know, and so I can't really minister to nobody because, well, they might do something to me because, you know, my house all ran down and stuff. And God says, go to the next one. He says, therefore, we do not lose heart, even though our outward man is perishing, yet the inward man is being renewed day by day. For our light affliction. He calls this our light affliction. You know, your situation, your day-to-day situations that you're going through, those are your light afflictions. Which is but for a moment, is working for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory. While we do not look at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporary, but the things which are not seen are eternal. And so